Greetings all you YouTubers, my name's Shaman Storm. I've just opened my YouTube channel to do readings for the collective. Today we'll be doing Aries. So let's get to it and see what's happening for you guys in this month. I am using the Alchemical Tarot by Rosemary Allen Guiley. Unfortunately, it would be very, very difficult to get these cards today because they're over 30 years old. But they're beautiful. So, no further ado, let's get into it and see what's up for you guys this month. First card we've got is the Ace of Wands. Eight of Swords. Three of Vessels, which in traditional tarot would be Three of Cups. And the Five of Cups. We have the Chariot in reverse. The Tower in reverse. The Emperor. The Hierophant. And the Star. And on the bottom of the deck, we've got Strength. I like that being on the bottom of the deck. Okay. The Ace of Wands is an interesting card to come up first because aces are normally a heralding of something coming, and in my experience, the Ace of Wands represents either the birth of a new idea or a new path. It can also mean birth. I find the colours in this one interesting because we've got lots of browns, reds and earthy tones, and I usually find that is related to grounding issues. I think it's a card of new beginnings and primal energies, deep urgings from the inner self and transformational power. It's like maybe you've recently been through some difficult times and you're going through a rebirthing of like old energies moving away and new energies coming in. It's something that's going to require a lot of energy on your part, like a new job or a new project, a new relationship. Sometimes it can represent the birth of a child. But whatever it is, it's going to take a lot of energy on your part to bring it into fruition and bring it into a concrete reality from the first thought thought of the concept. So right now, it's a very creative time for you because you're working on formulating new directions and looking at different options and ways to deal with certain issues and problems. Now, the next card we've got is, what is it? The Seven of Swords. Swords normally talks about the cutting away of things. When and emotional situations, more of a negative kind that need to be cut away and removed from life. It's kind of like making the best of a bad situation. You can fix things in life if you are willing to do the work, and at the end of the day, anything that you do that is positive for your own personal growth is a good thing, and it's a positive thing. But changes cannot be made unless we make way for them internally by cutting away the things that no longer serve us and what isn't working for us any longer. I feel like you're feeling like you need to take a break from the routine and daily stress of life, like things are getting a little bit on top of you, and the challenges that you have had to deal with and face are starting to feel like a bit of a burden to you. You need to go within yourself to restore your energy and build your strength, both in the physical and in the spiritual, because this card requires a lot of energy on your part. So it's almost like there's a bit of a resistance to this letting go. There is something which you need to let go of, which is holding you in that situation, and you need to remove that to be able to move forward. Now, the next card we've got is the Three of Vessels. The Three of Vessels, like I said in the traditional tarot, is the Three of Cups. And that normally represents third-party situations, unfortunately. And I feel like there's a balancing which needs to happen with this energy. Maybe it feels as though this is things aren't exactly moving the way you want them to, and I kind of get the impression that there are three people involved in this situation, and I think that's where the resistance is coming from, because it's almost like you don't want to let go of this situation, or someone doesn't want to let go of you. And I feel like that in itself is a bit of a problem, because it's creating difficulty, and relationships are the central theme of this card, whether it be friendship, family relationships, relationships between children, or romantic relationships with other people. But the message that this card sends out is that you need to find a support, and you need to let go of whatever weight you've been carrying. I feel like it's a third party situation, because then we've got the what is it, the Five of Vessels behind it, and if you look at the card in the Five of Vessels, she's actually filling one of the vessels up. Maybe there's a lot of chaos in your life at the moment. I'm feeling like there's a situation that is either about to happen or has recently happened that was very unexpected, but it's a happy discovery. This card tells you to look at past and past losses, because out of every situation, if you look at it from a positive perspective, there is always something to be gained. It's like, you know how people talk about the cloud with the silver lining. You sort of have to look a bit at it. Look, judging from these 3 cards, you sort of need to look at a bad situation in a positive light, is the impression that I'm gaining from these particular cards being together the way that they are. And it's telling you that there needs to be a sacrifice on your part, because in order to gain from this situation, there's a necessity to be able to cut away things that are not serving the greater good. The Chariot in reverse, that's telling me even more that there is a situation in life that's out of control, and it seems to have grown a life of its own. And then we've got the Tower reversed next to it, which tells me that there is a shocking event coming up for you, and it's like a wake-up call, and it hits you like a bolt out of the blue, and it knocks you for 6. But as long as you remember what I've said to you about the 5 of vessels and the 3 of vessels, because I think it's all connected. And I think it's got to do with a past situation, something that has happened either a few weeks ago or a few days ago. But I feel like the Chariot in reverse it's a bit of a runaway thing, you know what I mean? Like, it's like you have no control over the situation, but that is actually an illusion. That is because of anxiety and other emotions which are keeping you stuck in this situation. And these are the things I'm talking about which need to be let go of. The Chariot in reverse, it speaks of, it's a strong and powerful energy, but also it's an energy that hasn't been reined in. It's not being controlled. It's just being allowed to run rampant, and you need to get control of that, because that's going to cause problems for you in other areas in life. It's not necessarily a good thing. Things aren't drawing to a conclusion as quickly as what you want them to, I feel. But then after the Tower, we've got the Emperor, and the Emperor is actually a good card to have, because the Emperor's strong, and the Emperor knows exactly what he wants and exactly where he wants to go. And I'm thinking that the Empress shown up to give you the strength and the courage to be able to go forward, because something is holding you back. You need to keep grounded, and you need to maintain your sense and sensibility, if you know what I mean. Don't allow things that people say that are negative to get under your skin. Just brush it off and tell yourself that they don't know any better, and ignore it, because they're only saying this to keep you in that place, and you can't stay there. It is time to move on. This situation has outlived its usefulness in this dimension. The Emperor keeps us anchored, and he keeps us strong when we're facing things that are uncertain, or situations where we don't know what the outcome's going to be or which way it's going to go. He has domain over the physical realm, so these are things to do with the physical life. And he basically gives us a lifeline to hold on to keep us anchored in difficult situations so that we don't lose ourselves in the situation. And he gives us grounding and strength. The next card we've got is the Hierophant, and the Hierophant is reversed. The Hierophant's quite a strong card. It is a card of the Major Arcana. Being in the reverse usually gives it a lesser vibration. It's not as powerful as what it is in the upright. But he kind of tells us that we need to have a strong moral compass to deal with what we're dealing with at the moment. It's got to do with the principles of heaven and earth, and spirit, and the masculine and feminine nature. If we're in touch with these energies, we are balanced, and when we're not in touch with these energies, things tend not to flow quite so smoothly. And I think at the moment that's what you're experiencing. It's a mixing of energies, and some are positive and some are negative, but it's causing some rather large ripples in life at the moment. And your goal is that you really just want peace at the moment, and you want to be able to get this situation to a place where you are both feeling comfortable with the situation. You're going to have to integrate some spiritual knowledge as well as earthly knowledge to be able to get you through this situation. You're sort of at the threshold of a new phase, and it's an alchemical process of mixing energies and releasing energies from what was the previous, so that you can freely move into the future. But you need to move forward with clarity and with certainty. And to be able to do that, you need to be able to confront this situation, whatever it is, and you need to cut it out. Because it's holding you back from being able to be the strength that you actually are. It's sapping your passion away. And the last card we have is the Star. And I love the Star, and that's actually good to have as the last card. Because it tells us that there is still hope, that you can still make a positive outcome from a negative situation. And that is a really good outcome to have. So my advice to you would be, if you're working on a new project, then I would go ahead, but you need to make sure that you get any negative energy out of your life and remove it before you can move forward with this new situation, because the energy from that previous will affect where you're heading in the future. And you need to be clear, and you need to be grounded, and you need to have strength, because this is going to take a lot of energy on your part. And the card on the bottom of the deck is Strength. And that's actually really good because strength is what we need when we're going through difficult situations. We need to be able to let go of the past and to be able to move on into the future unencumbered from the things that have affected us in the past. It's time, Aries, to move forward and move forward with confidence, no longer being held back by restrictions from the past. It is time to step up and take control and do what it is that you want to do. But you need to make sure that you've dealt with this energy, because if you don't, it will come back and it will mess with what your plans are for the future, because it will return in another form. So I hope that has been helpful for you. And I do have a Facebook page, so if you Facebook is where I do all of my readings and bookings on FaceTime, and I also do lives once a week, free live readings once a week on Facebook as well. And I also have a reading group where you can join the reading group, and if you are a member of the group and have been a member of the group for over a month, then you get 50% off all of your readings. And that is my reading for you today, Aries, and thank you for listening, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.